Lordy. Hello, hello. Look at there. Just put my whole, look at there, fat roll on the table. Here, let's try to minimize that. Okay, just joking. It is what it is. Okay, guys, I broke up these green beans. I still got to wash them and everything, but I wanted to show you all the other treasures I got for our feast on a Wednesday, honey. On a Wednesday. The thing that I am the most impressed with are these eggs. I sincerely hope, with all of my being, that someday I can go to my coop and select such a rainbow. Look, this has to be from a Moran. Look at the dark brown eggs. This is probably from an olive egger of some kind, like a sapphire gem or something. These are probably leghorns, maybe. We've got a lot of dark brown ones, and look. Some of these light colored ones could be Americanas or Easter eggers of some kind. I got two. These eggs here were just as cheap as the eggs in the store, so I went ahead and bought. Look, guys, look at the speckles. I love these. Look at this, how pretty. Look, and then, oh, look at this pretty blue. This beautiful little robin's egg blue color. Isn't that gorgeous? These are so pretty. They're almost too pretty to cook, but not quite. Alright, so we're going to use those today for our cornbread, which we're going to make here in just a little bit. I was able to get some beautiful new potatoes. This whole bag. I've already broke up the white half runner green beans. Yes, we're going to be pressure cooking those. I got a bunch of green onion. Here's my yellow and red tomato. And I already had zucchini and squash. I'm going to cut it up and eat it today too. We've decided to go with hamburger patties for dinner. I'm going to cook some peppers and onions. I think I have a green pepper floating around here somewhere. And I've got a big head of cabbage that I'm going to cook too. So it shall be a feast. And there will be leftovers. And that means I don't have to cook any kind of lunch or anything tomorrow. I also got a HelloFresh, Home Chef box. But I'm going to do a separate video for that. Okay. So, hi everybody. Tony. Yeah, my landlord is aware of our plans. He has been since the very beginning. My lease has been up since the March of last year. And we never did re-sign another lease because I told him that we didn't know when we were going to be, doing whatever we were doing. And, of course, now we've been here 2 years. Still don't have another lease signed. So, yeah, that's not even a worry at all. Yeah. Yeah, definitely fried chicken would be a good option. I'm trying to go something just a little bit healthier. I'm going to saute this leftover squash and zucchini on the Blackstone later. I've almost got that video ready to go for y'all. I did clean it up mostly, and I did cook some eggs on it earlier, and they came off without a hitch. So, Sandra, I need to go back in and look at them. We're going to do just like hamburger patties with like I think I'll just do peppers and onions on the grill with them. And just maybe let that be the protein for our meal. Yes, Eggman. Eggs. Beautiful eggs. Aren't they gorgeous? $4 a dozen for these, y'all. That's a steal. I didn't have it, Wanda. I'm putting everything up. And I think me and several girls from the barn are going to get together and have one over at the barn later on here in a month or so. Love you, Lynn. Thank you. Yeah, just a simple brown gravy. That's what I was thinking, like a chopped steak with peppers and onions and brown gravy. That's kind of where my head's at with it. But yeah, so we're going to get started on this meal. We're going to pressure cook the beans. We're going to do pressure cook the green beans. I'm going to just slice up one of these tomatoes. I've got the new potatoes to put in, and I've got the green onions, and it's going to be so good. It's going to be so, so good. Yep. Oh, hey guys, and just a little reminder, Eggman was on a little bit of a delay for a minute, but his website's back up and running. So if you need to get your pickled eggs in to snack on, you need to go ahead and get those ordered so he can get them on the way to you. Don't forget eggman.com. They're so good. There's so many different flavors. The pickled garlic is off the chain. The new pickled garlic, the pickled dill garlic. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, so we're going to have us a little Appalachian hillbilly country feast this evening that will carry over into tomorrow because, yes, corn on the cob too, Belinda. It's in the fridge. So yeah, I forgot about it. Thank you. Yes, we don't have Amish. We have Mennonite, Jenny. Same thing. We do have a Mennonite produce stand. I did not go there for this stuff yesterday. I went to a locally owned, the Mennonite is locally owned. Let me say this very carefully. I love to support all kinds of local business, but I also expect to be treated with some dignity when I'm at a place. And sometimes at the other produce stand, you don't really get that. Yes, amen. I'm so looking forward to having a big garden, and actually not like a big garden as far as like a big open space garden. I think mostly what I want to go for is more of raised beds. And so all winter, like, we won't get to do much gardening this year. I'll have to buy a lot of my produce to can. But next year, I hope to raise a significant amount of things to preserve. I'm also making plans to put in a cold cellar where we can house potatoes, like in an underground shelter where they'll stay for the whole winter, so, and the summer. So next year we'll be planting potatoes in like February, March, and hopefully harvesting those, and hopefully get a good harvest. I'd like to plant some sweet potatoes, and I'd like to plant beets and carrots and grow cabbage heads. My granny used to keep cabbage heads in the cold cellar in milk crates for months, and they were good like that. So, the Amish auction and crab orchard is selling strawberries. Yeah, Jan, they're probably coming from the Cornets farm over here. So we can buy those right here locally within like a 10-minute drive. Debbie, that's kind of up in the air right now. We are currently looking for a camper big enough to house all three of us comfortably. Once we found that, we're going to put it on our property and get it all hooked up with, I'm going to have to get my glasses adjusted again. They're slipping off my face. We're going to get the camper hooked up to the well and to the electric pole, and then we're also hooking up to our sewer. Well, the sewer system is going to be kind of unique. So I didn't even know there was such a thing. You can actually get a permit for a fully enclosed system, which means that we're using the tanks on the camper. But every, see you later, man. You gotta have a contract with a company to come out and pump your tanks. And we found a company that will come and pump once a week, pump our holding tanks. And, yes, so they're going to come out once a week, pump our tanks for $50. And yes, that's what we're looking for. It's what I found it would be the most accommodating, would be a bigger fifth wheel camper. And we're going to go with a used one. well taken care of, but an older, like 2010, somewhere around there. Amanda, the Cornets Farm is located here in Laurel County, and they have a farm, like Farm Fresh, Cornets Farm Fresh store located on the 192, right behind, like, just up here in London. So, yes, we have to get a lot of, that's the other thing too about growing vegetables down there. Between the rabbits and the deer and the coons and the possums and all the things, I don't know if we'll be able to, I don't know if we'll be able to even grow a garden, honestly. We'll see what happens. Try to do some, deterrents and some fences and things like that. Tammy Miller, how soon do you get, I don't know. We will probably be in the camper for a year or more. We are just, we will just have to see how that all goes. Kind of hoping that our government lets these interest rates go down like they did before, and increases everybody's willingness to go out and borrow money, because right now, even at the best, interest rates are still a little high. Is there a bus stop? We have to go out to the main highway for a bus stop. We'll probably just take him to school and pick him up. Yeah. Yeah, marigolds are a great deterrent for deer and rabbits. They don't like the smell. Yeah, Joanne, we have, as of right now, we're saying no double wide. We're going to live in a camper. We're going to build a barndominium. That's our decision that we've made for our family. It's not for everybody. It may not be for you, but it is for us, and we're happy with it. Yeah, Dave, I'm sure it's cheaper to do a septic and a double wide, but that's not what this decision was based on. Just to be honest with you, it is not really. If you go look at the prices of barndominiums and everything, really, we're going to spend the same amount of money to put in a bigger, nicer home as a barndominium than putting a double wide in. Yeah, we will be looking at a livestock guardian dog after we get goats and all the things. A barndominium is basically a metal building or metal barn that's converted into a house. Just check them out online. They're beautiful. Yes, I know it's a long time to be in a camper, but we can do it. We've got plenty of things to keep us busy. We've got plenty of things that we can do. We've also got plenty of time. Once we leave the apartment, we don't have to pay rent anymore, and I plan on paying cash for the camper. So, it's going to eliminate, I'm going to empty the storage units out and sell everything that we don't need or have room for. So, to be honest, it's really going to save us a lot of money. No, the horses will be coming with us, Sharon. We're going with metal, and that's just what we've decided on. Jan, not right now. No, I don't. I know people will find out eventually. I will share it eventually, but right now I just don't want the issues. We have a lot of psychos that try to aggravate us and all that stuff. Trudy, we have a great well, and we also have city water on our property. Yep. So, it will be a fun summer. Yeah, and you know what? Everybody's opinions are welcome and everything, but, the quickest way to get me to do something is tell me I can't. What happened to Anthony's big job? What do you mean? Nothing happened. What does that mean? Anthony, guys, listen. My husband is a contract employee. Okay, he can work from anywhere. If he is just like me, if he has a Wi-Fi connection, we can work. I mean, that's just the way it is. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, with all due respect, sort of, it's none of your business. If my husband doesn't ever work another day, it's none of your business. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that because it's rude. Like, do you want me to, can I ask you, where does your money come from? Does your husband work? Is your husband, what's he doing? Where's his big job? I mean, when did this become okay? Lord have mercy. Oh. Debbie, brick homes are traditionally a little bit more expensive, and I'll just be honest with you, I don't care for brick. Don't care for it. What my husband does for a living is not anybody's business. We choose to keep some parts of, oh, Bonnie, yes, I need to go back to that. We choose to keep some part of our lives private, and that's our right to do. So, I love you, but it's not your business. Now, going back to the camper, so, we are putting a septic tank in, but that will be a few months or several months down the road, and once we figure out exactly where we're putting our house, and where the camper is going, we are not going to be putting the house where the camper will be, obviously. So, we are putting in what's called an above ground collection tank. And these are all perfectly legal. And you run your hoses from your black tank and stuff into that. And it collects it and holds it. And then, like I said, we have a contract with a company that's going to come out once a week. Or once every 2 weeks. However, I'm not sure how it's going to go. The tank is 450 gallon. Is that what it was? 450 gallons. And it will, it'll be pumped out as needed. So, it is an exciting adventure. And that's the thing about it. Yeah, Susie, I am very open to questions. I'm not trying to be nasty. I very politely am telling everybody it's none of their business. And I'm setting boundaries, and that's healthy. So try to twist it and turn it and twitch it any way you want to, honey, but that's just the facts.
There ain't none of that, please.
There's no sausages, my girl. I'm sorry. The sausage wants a sausage. So, yes, and you will be, Jan, you will be taking the journey with me. We will show every part of it. I think it's very important to be, like, transparent about it. And, yeah, I think they asked because Anthony's home all the time. Yeah, he's here because this is where he works. It's just, I mean, it's just, that's all I'm going to tell you. That's it. I don't have to explain to you what my husband does for a living. I don't owe anybody an explanation there. And that's it. That's the bomb. That's it. I just pray you can keep Bannon out of the woods. Probably not. And nor would I try to do so. We're going to teach Bannon what not to touch, what's okay to touch. We're going to always have, an eye on him. We're not going to just let him wander off into the national forest somewhere and come out a few days later wearing a coyote skin coat, and painting his face with mud. I mean, we're gonna be okay. Like, I grew up in the country. I grew up where Anthony his mom and them live. It's nothing but woods. He grew up playing in creeks and under cliffs and everything else. Guys, I want that for my son. I want him to be in the woods and looking and doing. Yes, Bannon can swim. Absolutely.
Fish. Wow.
Like a fish, yes. Yes. Well, Susan, it ain't, like I said, it ain't for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. And again, we have so much outdoor space. It's not, I'm not an inside person. We are going to put like a whole big outdoor kitchen on the concrete. There's going to be like patio furniture and string lights, and we're going to be grilling, and there's going to be a big full-size refrigerator outside under the covered area. We're going to make it as comfortable as possible. You know, it's going to be great. Y'all just watch and see. Right, Teresa. People act like I'm gonna turn him loose out there, and he's gonna come back with a copperhead in each hand and a coyote loincloth on. You know, and I'm like, that's not the case. He needs to learn what snakes are dangerous and what snakes are okay, and he needs to learn what spiders are dangerous and what spiders that he can, you know, that he can poke at. And he needs to know these things. He needs to know how to remember how to get his way back home, and he needs to learn how to navigate, and he needs to learn what tree is this? What leaf does this tree go to? These are all things that I knew and that I was taught growing up. And that's what I'm going to teach him. Yes, lots of wildflower seeds. I agree with that 100%. We don't really need to stock the pond at this time. We actually have seen several very big fish in there. Yeah. When it's rainy weather, as long as it's the summertime, like I said, one of the first things we're going to build is a complete covering over top of the concrete pad. Okay, so the whole concrete pad and the camper will be covered. So unless it's coming an absolute tornado, we're going to be able to be outside if it's raining or not under that canopy. So that'll be fun. It'll take me a while to get it built, but it'll get there. And, you know, we always go to Tennessee for Christmas anyway, so we'll probably just do our Christmas celebrations down there. I won't get to do Christmas decorating inside the camper much. What are you doing over at that dog? Is she shaking?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta see this. Hold on a second. No, you stay right there. Hold on. Hold on. Babe, you're beautiful just the way you are. Hush. Y'all look at this right here. Lucy, what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing over there? Lord, honey. He's crazy. Dog's crazy too. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off here and we're gonna make some cornbread. And I'm gonna ignore some comments. I love y'all. We're going to do it as a pre-recorded video because it takes too long in between the time it goes in the oven and the time it comes out. So, I love y'all. I'll see you later. Bye.